salt of carboxylic acid and respective alcohol. What are esters? Esters are the functional group that is going to have COO and group functional group as CO and R as minus group here. Okay, so that is means both they must have one carbon here, one carbon here. So at least for forming the esters, we need how much carbon? 3 carbon should be there. Okay, so if I talk about this ester, so this esters when react with any base, it will form sodium salt of carboxylic acid plus respective alcohol. Okay. What is you mean by the word respective alcohol here? This is the general equation. Like you've been studying that acids when react with base, it will give you salt in water. Acid when react with metals, it will produce salt in hydrogen gas. Okay. Metal hydrogen carbonate when react with acids, it gives you salt plus carbon dioxide plus water. So this is the simple general equations. Esters when react with base, especially sodium. Base is sodium here. Okay. So if I talk about this base, this is very simple that esters when react with base, it will give you sodium salt of carboxylic acid plus respective alcohol. Okay, understood? Now it is not giving any
Yes, sir.
name. It is not giving any name, so we'll give write this equation that it will give you respective alcohol. But first, if give you any example, if it is said saying that what happens when ethyl ethanoate is going to react with NaOH, then you have to write the name of the salt that is going to form and the respective alcohol that is going to form. And what is you mean by the word respective alcohol here? The respective alcohol means whenever, how does an ester is going to form? Tell me, how does an ester is going to form? Ester is going to form when alcohol react with carboxylic acid. So whatever the ester it is going to form, it must have reacted with some alcohol and carboxylic acid to form the ester. And the alcohol which it react, that same alcohol it is going to give you. For example, if I took C2H5 COOC3H7, this is an ester. If you treat it with NaOH, it will gives you this C2H5COONa, sodium salt of carboxylic acid, sodium salt, and it is a carboxylic acid. Okay, plus what it is going to give you, it will gives you C3H7OH. This is the alcohol. This is the group that gives you the alcohol. This is the group that gives you the alcohol here. Okay. So this is the respective alcohol. So what does it mean, respective alcohol? So respective alcohol means that this ester must have reacted this C3H7OH to form this alcohol. So to form this ester, right? For example, it must have reacted C2H5COOH plus C3H7OH, C3H7OH to gives you C2H5COO C3H7 plus water in the presence of concentrated H2SO4. So this is must that you need to understood. This is the meaning of respective alcohol, that this ester contain the alcohol part of this respective alcohol. Okay, so this will gives you. So when you treat this alcohol with NaOH, then it will gives you the same alcohol which it is formed. That's the meaning of respective alcohol. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here we are going to have this question. So please note these questions in your copy and please write the answer of this one. I will be just coming back in a minute. Okay. So done this one, noted this one. Tell me first. Noted?
Yes.
Now tell me, is there any questions in the same test paper that you were having? Let me show you that test paper here. Is there any questions? And the second part of this one, how will you do this one? Second part. Ethanol react with ethanoic acid in the presence of sulfuric acid. So it will gives you ethanoic acid. Sorry, ester plus ester. It will gives you ester, and the name of that ester would be? What would be the name of that ester? Tell me. What would be the name of that ester? So the second part, what you are going to do here is, this is ethanol. The second part, ethanol is an alcohol, na? Alcohol when react, and ethanoic acid is a carboxylic acid. And in the presence of concentrated H2O4, it will gives you ester. Sweet smelling substance. So now we will not write esters. We will write the answer that it will form ester. But we have to mention the name of that ester because it is the specific ester it is going to form. If somebody asks you that what would happen when sulfuric acid react with zinc? So you'll say that it will form salt and hydrogen gas. Oh yes, okay, but you have to mention the name of the salt now that is going to form because it has mentioned the name of acid and the name of metals. So if the name of the metals is specifically being mentioned to you, then you have to answer the name of that salt that is going to form. If it is not mentioned like it's asked, if it asks what happens when alcohols react with carboxylic acid, you will simply write ester will and water will be formed. But if it is not mentioned, if it is specifically mentioned the name of alcohol, the name of carboxylic acid, then you have to mention the name of the ester that is going to form here. So ethanol is 2-carbon alcohol. Ethanoic acid is 2-carbon carboxylic acid. When it react with concentrated H2SO4, it will going to form ethyl ethanoate. Okay. What it is going to form? Tell me. Tell me. It is going to form ethyl ethanoate plus water. Got it? Got it?
Yes, sir.
So how will you write the name of ethyl ethanoate? That you know that ethanoate group is actually, what is ethanoate? It means two. It means two. It is not a thing. So this is CH3COH. This COO minus group is called O8 group. O8. O8 group. Oxalate ion we called it. Oxalate. Okay. Carboxylate ion. Now this is 2-carbon oxalate ion. So its name will be eth N O8. And if you add Na here, so you will write here sodium ethanoate. Okay. If you write C2H5, the name of C2H5 is ethyl. So name ethyl ethanoate. If you, instead of this one, if you write CS3, you will write methyl ethanoate. So whatever you are adding here, you have to mention the name here. So if it is ethyl C2H5, the mention the name is it's as ethyl ethanoate. Ethyl ethanoate. Okay, you understood now? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Understood? Understood? So please note it down. Note this one also. Note then down. Note this one. Done? Noted?
Yes, sir.
Next, if I talk about is the next question. Is there any specific question that you want to discuss from this question paper? I am going to show you right now. Okay, will you be able to answer the question number 2? Okay, tell me the answer for the question number one. What is the answer for the question number one? Let's discuss the question paper only. Tell me. Define the term functional group. Do you know the functional group? What is functional group? Is there anybody?
Functional group.
Yes. What is functional group?
It is a group of atoms which makes a carbon compound reactive and decide its properties.
Write down the proper answer for this one. It is an atom or a group of atom attached to an hydrocarbon chain that decide the chemical and physical properties. It can be an atom like chlorine, bromine, iodine. It can be group of atom like COH, OH, CHO. Okay. So it can be an atom or a group of atom attached to an hydrocarbon chain that determine the physical and chemical properties of that compound. Understood? Understood?
Yes,
This is very important question that we have taken here in there. And what's the functional group here? Tell me which functional group is here?
aldehyde.
Aldehyde. Aldehyde. Why not ketone? It is CO.
So H is there.
Yeah, because for forming the ketone, we need at least 3 carbon. So it is an aldehyde. And here?
Carboxylic acid.
Yes, it is C double bond OH. Very good. So please write down the definition of the functional group properly in your notebook. Write down the definition of this one. An atom or a group of atom attached to an hydrocarbon chain that determine the chemical and physical properties of hydrocarbon chain is called functional group. Note it down with example. Done? Noted? Tell me fast.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone still writing?
No, sir.
Okay. Next question. Hmm. Okay. What is XYZ in the compound? Question number 2. Tell me.
X is ethanol.
X is?
Ethanol.
Okay. Y?
Y is ethene.
Y is ethene. Okay. And Z?
Hydrogen gas.
Hydrogen gas. Is it mentioned here that the compound X, is it mentioned here that the compound X should be 2 carbon compound? It is written only a compound X. And is there anyone anywhere shown that it is a 2 carbon compound?
No.
No. Neither it is shown to you that it is a 2 carbon compound, nor it is shown to you that nor it is written it is a 2 carbon compound. So why ethanol? We will write X is alcohol, Y is alkene, and Z is hydrogen gas. Okay, let's talk. Because it is not specifically mentioned to you, na? It can be propanol, it can be butanol, can be anything, na? Are you getting my point? What I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So here, if I talk about this one, that since it is exclusively, yeah, you can explain it by using this one, but you will write X is alcohol, Y is alkene, and Z is because you know that alcohols when react with concentrated sulfuric acid, a dehydration reaction take place. Where then an unsaturated hydrocarbon is formed. It is not saying that a two carbon unsaturated hydrocarbon. Nothing, nowhere it is mentioned that it is a two carbon compound. So we'll write X is alcohol, Y is alkene, and Z is hydrogen gas. Because you know that alcohols when react with concentrated H2O, dehydration reaction take place, which result in the formation of alkenes. And similarly, that alcohols when react with metals, they form salt plus hydrogen gas. So will you remember this one? The error?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. Here in this question, if I talk about what is homologous series, tell me what is homologous series? Answer me, what is homologous series?
Series of carbon compound that and each successive member differ by a CH2 group.
Yes, the compounds of hydrocarbons in which the each successive members is differ by CH2 group is called homologous series. Can the two homolog can have the same functional group or a different functional group?
Same functional group.
Yes. The two homolog can have the same functional group. They can, if they have different functional group, is still if they have the difference. Like for example, if I explain you here that if I'm saying C3S6O and if I'm taking C4H8O, and if it is structure is given to you like this, okay, and like this. So if you wrote the compressed formula for this one will be C4H8O. You can count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hydrogens, 4 of carbon and 1 oxygen. And here it is C3H6O. C3H6O. And you can check that they are different by CH2 group. But still they are not homolog. If it is mentioned, they are not homolog, not homolog. Why? Why they are not homolog? The reason behind is that they are differ by CH2 group, but they have different function group. As they have, as they have a different functional group. Okay, so they must have. If we are talking about ketone, so the next one should be ketone. The third one should be ketone. All the members should be of ketone. You cannot say that you are taking one ketone and another aldehyde. No, it is aldehyde, it is propanol, aldehyde, and this is ketone. So it is not possible to have whether it is going to have. Okay, you understood? Tell me. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Next question. So please draw this one and write down the definition of that. Just a minute. The compounds of hydrocarbon in which the successive member, note it down, successive. Successive member is differ by CH2 group. Done? Noted? Tell me, have you noted this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. This was not visible to you, then how you note it? How you note the answer if what was not visible to your screen, na?
Sir, you dictated, right?
I dictated it, but note it again. Those who have not noted. Nobody is saying that, sir, it is not written on the screen. So note it down fast. Done this time? Just keeping silent. Okay, tell me the next questions. I will send you the answers if nobody is means I will send you this sheets. Okay. Okay. Can anybody tell me that why do misses formation take place only in soap when soap is added to water, but not when it is added to alcohol? Question number 8. Can anybody in the class tell me? Nobody is going to answer this question. Hmm? Tell me, dear student, is there? Can you tell me that why soap misses its forms when water is added to it, but there is no misses form when ethanol is added to it?
Soap molecule has two ends with different properties.
Okay.
One is hydrophilic and other one is hydrophobic.
Okay.
When soap is added to water,
Okay.
the hydrophilic
Get attached with the
get attached with the dirt.
hydrophilic or hydrophobic.
Hydrophobic get attached with the dirt.
Okay. And hydrophilic
Hydrophilic gets dissolved in water.
get attached, not dissolved.
Attached to the water.
Okay.
So that's why soaps get dissolved in water.
Okay.
In uh, in, eth- in ethanol, the soaps are not able to dissolve.
Why?
Uh,
Why it is not able to dissolve? Yes, you get the good answer, but why it does not dissolve in the water? Sorry, ethanol. Because ethanol is non-polar in nature. So for forming the micelles, if I explain you here that for forming a micelles, when you are forming a micelles, okay, micelles formation take place when hydrocarbon ends soap attached with the polar dot and the ionic. Okay, so here it is the answer that micelles formations that you see that if I'm having, let me explain you here. Let's suppose if I'm having this is dirt. Okay, and this dirt is attached with the hydrocarbon chain, and this is the CO minus ion, oxalate ion. This oxalate ion get attached with the water, and why it is attached with the water? Because it is non-polar. Non-polar, and this is also non-polar. Polar. This is polar, and this one is also polar. So like dissolve in likes. But alcohol ethanol is also non-polar. Ethanol is also non-polar in nature. Non-polar in nature. So both the ends, how the missiles will be formed. No missile will be formed when if they both the things are non-polar. Because this COO minus ion will repel. The repulsion will take place here. Okay. So it will not dissolve in alcohol. Okay. This is the because oxalate ions, the ionic part will not dissolve in the ethanol because ethanol is also non-polar in nature. Okay. It is polar. So there's a repulsion. A repulsion will take place. Okay. And due to this repulsion, it will not dissolve. Not dissolve. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Write the answer, please. This time, do I have shared? Yes, I have shared the screen. I think that I have not shared the screen, and you are saying yes, sir. So write it down. Missile formation take place when hydrocarbon ends of soap get attached with the polar dart, and the ionic end get attached with the with the water, which is polar. No missile formation will take place when we have both non-polar substance, dirt and ethanol. Note it down. Done? Or still writing?
Done, sir.
Thanks.
If this is a very important question that is being asked in the examination, very important. Why the carbon can neither form C for positive nor C for negative ions? Can you tell me that why carbon do not form C for negative and C for positive ion? Hmm? Can you tell me? Can anybody tell me that why carbon cannot form C for negative and C for positive ions?
So,
Speak a little bit louder.
carbon, so carbon cannot form C4 plus because the removal of 4 electrons will require large amount of energy, which is not possible. And carbon cannot form C4 minus an ion as it would be difficult for the nucleus with 6 proton to hold onto 10 electrons. So therefore, carbon is can neither form
Very good, very good, very good. Proud of you. The same things that I'm going to explain you here is this, that carbon cannot form C4 negative ion. That because you know that this is going to have carbon, structure of carbon, which is going to have 4 electrons, has 6 protons, 6 electrons. But when it lose 1 electron, then the size of the atom keep on decreasing because the greater number of protons are attracting the lesser number of electrons. Here is also, here the size of the atom will keep on decreasing. If it loses 2 electrons, now exponentially the more and more energy will be required to remove the next electron. Okay, so the same energy will not be, it does not mean that the uniform energy, like if it 100 joule for the first, the next 400, for next 100, no. If it is 100 joule for the first, then it will be 1000 joule for the second, and then 10,000 or lakh joule for the next one, and it exponentially increases because the size of the atom keep on decreasing. As the size of the atom keep on decreasing, the next electron will come to the nucleus, come closer to the nucleus, and this will require a large amount of energy to overcome the force of attraction between the nucleus and the electrons. So when it is far away, then it's okay. When it come closer to the nucleus, then more and more energy will be required. So it is not practically possible to lose all the 4 electrons. So here I have written the answer for the 4, why it cannot form. So note it down, carbons. In carbon, proton attracts 6 electrons. If we remove electrons one by one, the size of the atom will decrease as more number of protons are attracting the lesser number of electrons. Thus, more and more energy will be required to lose all the 4 electrons. That's why carbon cannot lose 4 electrons and form C4 negative ion. So please note it down. This is a very important question. Note it down in your copy. Done. Draw the diagrams also with changing in size. Change in size. Okay. Draw the diagram. The first one is bigger, then smaller, then smaller, then smaller. Done this one, noted, please tell me.
Done, sir.
Is there anyone who's still writing?
No,
I think you
sir.
need to. Done everyone, Jobita?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me check who is there in the class. Let's move further. Now, if I ask you that why the same answer, that it is not practically possible for 6 proton to hold 10 electron extra 4. Okay, that's why it does not form C4 negative ion, because 6 proton cannot hold the 10 electrons. So that's why it does not form C4 negative ion. Okay, because as you keep on adding the electrons due to internuclear repulsion, the size of the atom will keep on increasing. So if it is having 6 electron here, 4 electron here, when you add the extra electrons, so it does not mean the size of the atom will remain. It will keep on increasing. It will keep on increasing. And when it keep on increasing, then what is going to happen? The nucleus will go far away from the outermost shells, and this, because of that, it will not hold the 4 electrons. Okay. Got it? If same question, if the question comes in examination that why do covalent compounds have, so if the question comes, if I add a question here, that why do carbon forms covalent compound? Why do carbon form covalent compound? Can you tell me? Can you tell me why do carbon form covalent compound? Because ionic compounds are formed by either gaining the electron or or losing the electron. So it can neither form C4 positive ion nor it forms C4 negative ion by losing or gaining. So how it can form the ionic compound? So the only reason to complete its octet is to share the electrons to form the covalent bond. So note it down. Why do carbon form covalent compounds? And write it answer. So this is the answer here. Neither it can gain 4 electrons nor it can lose 4 electrons. So it share 4 electrons to complete its octet, and thus form sharing bond called covalent bond and called covalent compounds. Note it down. Done.
Yes, sir.
Noted perfectly. Okay, next. Why do they have very low melting and boiling points? Can you tell me? Why do carbon compounds have very low melting and boiling points?
Because the intermolecular force of attraction is very
So why it is low? Why it is higher in the ionic compound? Hmm? Why do have low melting and boiling points? Because they form because in covalent compounds, it is saying that why covalent compounds have low melting and boiling point, because in covalent compounds the compounds are formed by sharing of electrons, so there is no complete exchange of electrons taking place, which prohibits the formation of ions, as a result of which they have the weak force of attraction, unlike the electrostatic force of attraction in the ionic compound. That's why they have low melting and boiling points. So note the answer for this question. Why do ionic compounds have low melting and boiling points? Just note it down. Why do, sorry, covalent compounds. Covalent compounds have low melting and boiling points. The reason for this one is that in ionic compounds, okay, you have to write the name. In ionic compounds, which are the compounds of hydrocarbons also. Sorry, first write the covalent compounds. In covalent compound, the bond is formed by sharing of electron. Sharing of electron which prohibits complete exchange electrons. As a result, no ions are formed. Static force of attraction in ionic compounds. So in covalent compound, the keywords here you need to mention that in covalent compounds, bond is formed by sharing of electrons, prohibits complete exchange of electrons, prohibits complete exchange of electron, no ions formed, no ions is formed, which you will write it, which have no ions is formed, and thus no ions are formed, which have no electrostatic force of attraction, which result in no electrostatic force, which results in no electrostatic force of attraction, as like in ionic compound, like in ionic compound. Okay, note it down. So because if they in the ionic compounds the ions are found, that's why the positive and negative charge force of ions are going to have very much large force of attractions. That's why. Okay. So in covalent compound, bonds are formed by sharing of electrons, which prohibit the complete exchange of electrons. And if there is no complete exchange of electrons taking place, as a result, no ions will form. And if there is no ion forms, no electrostatic force will be there. No electrostatic force will be less force of attraction between the particles. Okay. Understood? Is there anybody responding? Shweta, Tejasvi?
Yes, sir.
Noted?
Yes, sir. 1 minute, sir.
Noted, please. And how your chemistry and biology revision class is going on? Sorry, physics and biology class is going on?
Good, sir.
Good, sir.
Okay. Next. Should I move to the next slide? Next question.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Define isomers. You know what is isomers? Now, if it is asked that two compounds have the same molecular formula C3H6O, write the name of these compounds and their structural formula. So, which two compounds are considered to be as going to have C3H6O as a formula, compressed formula? Can you tell me? Which two compounds is going to have the same molecular formula? Did you solve this question? Did you solve this one in your copy when you answer the question? So first of all, define isomers. Isomers are the compounds having same molecular formula but different structure. The compounds of isomers are the compounds of carbons which are having the same molecular formula but different structure. Okay. Like for example, C4H10O, you can write it like this way. But if I talk about this one here, you have to write the functional isomers. What are functional isomers? The compounds of hydrocarbons that are going to have the same molecular formula but different structure. Different functional groups, sorry. Like ketone and aldehyde show functional isomerism. Okay, like you can check ketone C3H6O. Here it is going to be ketone. It can be C3H6O. It is propanone. And aldehyde C3H6 1 2 3 4 5 6 NO. This is propanol. The both having the same molecular formula. They both are going to have the same molecular formula, but they have the different functional group. One is having ketone, propanone. Another one is propanol. You understood? Tell me, understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next, can you tell me that other hydrocarbon that are going to have the same structural formula?
Sir, butane.
That show the same functional group but different sorry, that have the different functional group but same formula. Means like ketone and aldehyde show. Other is that is in your syllabus, esters and carboxylic acid. Esters and carboxylic acids also show functional isomerism. Okay, esters and carboxylic acids also shows functional isomer. They also shows functional isomerism. Functional isomerism. Okay, that it is showing propanoic acid and it is showing methyl ethanoate. Okay, that you can check it. C3H6O2 and this methyl ethanoate 1 2 3 3 carbon ethanoate. So you can check it, methyl ethanoate. Okay, got it? Understood? So esters and carboxylic acid to form functional isomerism, and similarly ketone and aldehyde to functional isomerism. So is there any doubt regarding to this question paper, whether it can be a biology or you can ask any question? So is there any questions? Means if you are having any doubt in this question paper, can you ask? You can ask. Is there any questions? Why are you not responding? The question paper is visible to you? It is visible to you. So is there any questions that you think that you are not able to answer? Can you tell me the why do lungs contain residual volume? Lungs always contain residual volume. What is residual volume? Can anybody tell me in the class what is residual volume? Hmm? Residual volume when you even after forceful expiration. For example, if you are having some oxygen in your lungs, always you are going to have some air in your lungs. Even if you try to exhale all your airs from your lungs, like you are expelling your air even that, you are going to have some air in your lungs always. Even if you do the forceful expiration means exhalation, then still there is some air and lungs some air present in the lungs, and that is called residual volume. And it help in the connectivity, that the process of respiration, the exchange of gases will continuously keep in. For the next cycle, that we are exhaling the carbon dioxide and inhaling the oxygen again. So for that process, the amount of air that is remaining in the lungs, that keep the exchange process. Okay, so this process should be continued to, in order to maintain the continuous process of exchange of gases in the lungs, there must be some residual volume that is called. Uh, so what is the function of residual volume? The function is that it helps in continuing the process of exchange of gases in the lungs and alveoli. Okay, and it help in the. Okay, you understood now? Tell me. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Is there any doubt? If you are not asking your doubt,